Belichick? By all means.
Jim Murray put this in front of us today. A column in the Charlotte News and Observer.
Yeah, the News and Observer.
Written by Luke DeCock.
We've heard from him before.
Listen,
Mr. DeCock.
We insert joke here. It's a natural. Let me ask you.
That poor bastard.
Well, if your name was Luke DeCock, DeCock,
don't you want to know if he backs it up?
I was going to say no. Would you say? Do you say poor guy or
no?
Poor guy.
I don't say poor guy. Poor guy from like kindergarten to 8th grade. After that, especially if he's a good-looking fella, don't you want to know if
here comes DeCock?
Yeah, right.
Look out for DeCock.
And then if
I don't know, wouldn't you wear it?
Yeah, and those whispers start going around campus, like he backs it up.
I don't know.
I think it could. I could go either way.
DeBall.
That's his name, Luke DeCock. So, headline: Bill Belichick is only embarrassing himself. UNC is embarrassing all of us. He's 4 games in, Mazz.
Yep.
Luke DeCock writes, in theory, a week off, I guess they're on a bye week, a week off means the North Carolina football program can go without embarrassing itself. Although there are certainly no guarantees. In 2 games against quality opponents under Bill Belichick, the Tar Heels have been humiliated by TCU and UCF. And it's fair to wonder, WTF at this point.
He got me with these first two paragraphs. Fantastic.
Good line.
DeCock can write. Again, in theory, a week off means UNC can go a week without embarrassing itself, although there are certainly no guarantees. He says, whatever the worst-case scenario was, when North Carolina's boosters concocted this silly plan, it looked an awful lot like this. They threw tens of millions at football merely to get owned on social media by the Big 12. At this point, it's becoming clear that even if Belichick is the greatest football coach ever to walk the earth, he couldn't do much with this roster without Tom Brady, and maybe even with him. The players are trying. They showed it against Charlotte and Richmond, but there's only so much they can do. North Carolina general manager Mike Lombardi somehow spent 8 figures on a roster full of 70 new players that looks ripe to compete for a conference title in Conference USA. Like Butch Davis and John Blake, Belichick's biggest mistake may have been trusting Mike Lombardi. I'll stop right there. You want to interject a thought or two?
I think so far the thing is dead on. And I think it got off to a bad start in North Carolina with regard to public relations because of that whole CBS interview with Jordan Hudson. And now I think the football is lacking, to say the least. They haven't been good. Do you know out of 136 Division I FBS teams, they rank 134th in offense?
Give me that again, please.
136 teams in Division I FBS college football. Okay, those are the big programs.
Yep.
In offense, North Carolina ranks 134th, ahead of only UMass, and now I can't remember the other.
You did put it in there. UMass is one of them.
Yeah, UMass is one of them. So again, what would it say if Bill Belichick was the head coach of UMass?
DeCock writes, this isn't about Belichick or Lombardi or all of their kids on the payroll or Belichick's significant other or all the money spent, although it certainly doesn't appear it has been spent wisely. This is about the people who enabled this mess in the first place. From the politicians who inserted themselves into the hiring process, which includes like Marco Rubio. Like, you've ever read up on this?
Yeah,
like this sort of weird sort of tentacles. From the politicians who inserted themselves into the hiring process to the trustees who ran amok to the chancellor who accepted and acceded, to all of it, to the athletic director who tried to put a happy face on it. There's a broad cast of characters to blame. Belichick is embarrassing only himself. A first ballot tarnishing your legacy Hall of Famer. His choice, at least it pays well. But the power brokers are embarrassing not only themselves, but all of us. Not just fans or graduates of UNC, but all North Carolina taxpayers.
I understand his point. It's a public institution.
They've taken the quote-unquote flagship university of a state, a once proud model of a modern public university, and made it a laughingstock. Start with the hubris of the 33rd team nonsense, which created an entire hot take industry of people rooting for this endeavor to fail.
Hello.
Then take the antics of Belichick and Jordan Hudson with every moment that goes viral for the wrong reasons. And then finally throw in the football team. People aren't just laughing at all of that. They're laughing at the University of North Carolina, an institution apparently dumb enough to get dragged into this. After the scandals of the 2010s and the debunking of the myth of the Carolina Way, which I'm not familiar with. What were the scandals of the 2010s? Maybe someone can tell me. He says, did we really need further debase an institution of higher learning that should purportedly benefit all the citizens of the state in a feckless pursuit of football glory that always seemed doomed to fail anyway? Worse, now that things have unsurprisingly turned sour, we're getting the grumpy Gus Belichick of the NFL, which may work at that level where you only have one boss, but not in college where you have thousands. In this case, at least some of his self-proclaimed bosses share the blame for putting both Belichick and themselves in this position. It's getting absolutely eviscerated down there.
Yeah, and look, again, I understand his point. He says, forget Belichick, go after the people who hired him. That's the general message of the story. And I'd be saying the same thing if I were down there. I think they had doubts about Bill from the start.
Some of those boosters definitely did.
Yeah, they were divided on it from the beginning. And for him to get off to a bad start automatically, and I'm talking really more about the PR than the football. If the PR had been good at the beginning, they'd be able to justify the football at this point and say, hey, give them a little time. Okay, it's going to take a little while. We're starting at ground zero here. But because the thing brought some, let's call it shame, on the institution, people down there are looking at it and saying, wait a minute. He's going to embarrass us, and we're still going to suck?
We still suck,
bye-bye.
And we're a laughing
stock.
Yeah,
bye-bye. They want to cut bait. I think there are a lot of people down there who want to cut bait already.
I think you left out the best part of this, the final paragraph.
Go ahead.
Reads from Luke DeCock. Belichick has no reason to leave on his own. His grift remains intact. That was the line. I was like, oh, yes. He gets paid either way. Good for him. He spotted the suckers a mile away, but the geniuses who sent a giant pile of money on fire to create this mess are going to have to set another giant pile of money on fire to get themselves out of it. And that's the sad reality. I mean, this is what happens when you hire these guys and it fails. You got to pay them off. But it's a story that sums up what the problem was at the end with this guy here. He surrounded himself with yes men losers. He refused to change, and he's riding off his name and what he did 10 years ago and the 10 years before that. He's washed. He's too stubborn. He's not going to change. It's over for him, and he's the last person to realize it.
And he did. He picked North Carolina. Why? Because he found suckers.
Well, it's the only one that would have him.
Exactly.
I mean, it was the best offer, so he took it.
Exactly.
He didn't choose anything.
33rd team, my ass.
Yeah, there were some suckers there, and he said, I can go into a place like that and rebuild it because they're not that good. The big programs don't want me because they see through it. So he did. He found some suckers there, and they took the cheese.
He just took the only real job he was offered. I don't think he chose anything. I mean, really. But he sure found a mark. He sure did.
Unbelievable.
Well, that's how it's going first month in for Bill Belichick. Long commercial-free segment begins right after these words. Don't go anywhere. We'll go right back to your phones.
just know when the play's over.
There's Drake Maye on the turnover issue. Continue with your calls, 617-779-0985. Eric in Lowell, subject line. Eric in Lowell's subject line says Drake Maye and his fake stats. Go ahead, Eric. What do you got?
Yeah, I think the completion percentage is a little fake. Majority are checkdowns and screens. Throws over 15 yards. He has 15 total this season. I mean, he's not really pushing the ball downfield, so kind of stat pattern, I think.
Eric, I agree with you. His completion percentage is overrated because, just take out the stat. Do you think he's accurate?
I would say it's okay.
Is it a calling card? Like, would you look at him and go, he's
No.
an accurate passer? Not yet. No, he's not.
No. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not great either. It's somewhere in the middle.
I agree with Eric that completion percentage is more a function of play designs usually. I mean, he shows flashes of putting the ball right in there. There's no doubt about it. But he's not a consistently accurate quarterback yet.
Agreed.
That's being fair. BJ and Whitman. Yes, BJ.
Yeah, I don't friggin' care about if the stats are jaded at all. I'm excited. You know why I'm excited? I don't know if this is a generational thing with these young people calling in, but I'm going to throw out some names for you when I was younger. I'm going to throw out Steve Grogan, obviously, at the end of his career. I'm going to throw out Tommy Hodson, Hugh Millen, Scott Smelly Zolak. I'm going to throw those names out. So that's why I'm excited, because I feel like we're back in 1990 through 92. This is rock bottom for us. And you know what? I'm kind of excited that we have an offensive coordinator calling plays and the moving the ball down the field. And it looks like this guy has the goods.
Okay. Low bar. That's not where I'm at. I'm judging him not against what you've been the last couple of years. I'm judging him against the league and how he looks as a young quarterback relative to the league. I think there's signs that he's on his way. But that is not because you were 3-14 the last 2 years. That's how Drew Bledsoe got overrated. And that was your problem. Remains your problem. The people that overrate Drew Bledsoe. He saved the franchise. Yeah, he did. From Victor Kayam and, perverts in the locker room and
Sam Jankovic.
And Sullivan family ownership investing in a Jackson 5 tour. And, yeah, I mean, next to that clown show, Drew Bledsoe looks like the Messiah.
Yeah.
Next to the rest of the league, he wasn't that good. So, I think that's just kind of a mistake. Yes, Drake Maye's better than Cam Newton and should give you more faith than even Mac Jones that's not the. So yeah, Nate, he's better than Cam Newton and Mac Jones.
No, you should aim higher than that. That part I agree with.
He needs to be better than the guys in the division and the conference, and that's what you should be looking at.
So I think the further along we get with him at this stage, everything they said about him coming out of college was true. The assessment was right. He has good raw ability. He needs a lot of fine-tuning and polishing up. He hasn't played a lot, and he can make reckless decisions because he relies on his ability, and he doesn't really understand the game yet. And I think that's all accurate. I think that's exactly what he's been. And you can see some of the edges start to get smoothed out. They're figuring it out. But didn't Orlovsky say early on it was going to be a 2-year process?
Orlovsky said they should sit him for 2 years.
Okay, and now I can see why.
Yeah.
I can totally understand why.
Different topic.
But I think that relates to his development.
Definitely. That he wasn't ready to go.
Right. So my point is it's going to take a while to get there with him because he had a ways to go. If he were a little like Jaden Daniels was polished right out of the gate. This kid's not like that. You got to wait for it.
Pat in Plymouth, his comment line says, everyone needs to relax with Drake Maye. I strongly disagree with that take. Go ahead, Pat. Patrick.
I just hope some of these panicky, reactive Patriots fans aren't parents of children, because the first day they come home with a C or D on their report card, they're going to say, you're dumb, you're not going to college. I do not understand. You know where Tom Brady was at age 23? He was the fourth-string quarterback for the Patriots. I'm not comparing Drake Maye to Tom Brady, but I'm saying relax. He looks pretty damn good for 23. And if we didn't have a panicky owner who had a panicky coach last year that rushed him into the lineup, we wouldn't be in this mess. People need to relax, Let him have a season before we start looking at.
I hate the relax
replacing him
thing,
with a
Pat.
different quarterback.
And you're not being honest about that assessment. If he was great and the best quarterback in the league, would you say relax? It's just 10 games? Would you say that? No, you'd be excited about it. You'd be excited about him already emerging. If he looked like Jaden Daniels last year and you went to the AFC Championship game, would you sit there and say, relax, it's just 1 year?
No, no one would be doing that.
God! To be honest with yourself. You're just saying relax because there's been some fits and starts and some things that haven't looked very good, and they're not winning. If they were winning, you wouldn't say relax. You'd say, we got the guy. So you're not being honest with yourself on that, first of all. And second of all, don't relax. Get invested. Be emotional about your team. There's only 17 games. This kid's only going to have, I don't know, 40 games to prove himself. I mean, I'll give him more than most, but it's still, he doesn't have all that much time to prove himself. Every week counts. And how many years you want to be 4-13? You should want to win this week. You should want them to be good sooner than later, and you should expect them to be so and push them to be so. Don't relax. You want to relax, go to the library and read a book and relax. Relax. I don't relax with my team. I live and die with it.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is that Maye needs the reinforcement of winning. He needs that, too. Otherwise, he starts to sort of lose confidence as you go, and he starts to think, am I ever going to win in this league, or maybe I'm not good enough? These young guys are vulnerable in that way. Like, we all think that they're superhuman. They're not.
I'm going to start yelling at people. Chris in Boston, comment line says, too early to be thrashing Drake Maye. Chris, is it too early to be praising? Yeah. Is it too early to be praising Drake Maye? Is it too early to compliment Drake Maye?
Oh, it's not.
It's not, but it's too early to criticize him. I can't live in that world. It's too early to criticize him, but it's not too early to praise him. Really?
Yes, a combination of both is why. We're looking at, if you look at some of the quarterbacks, and I'm not even going to add Josh Allen to this. You look at Sam Darnold, you look at Baker Mayfield, you look at Daniels over for the Colts. Like, these are guys that you look at them before they, blew up the way that they did when they got put in a good situation, and everyone was mocking them and laughing at them and criticizing them and giving them this.
I get it. I agree. Chris, if it's too early to criticize or trash Drake Maye, then it has to be too early to praise him too.
Correct. I 100% agree.
All right. Then I don't know what to do on the show. I don't know if you would go to a game, if you would talk to anyone after the game about what you saw or how you felt. You would pretty much have to not do that.
You stay in a cone of silence.
You just stand there and have beers and don't say anything.
And not say anything. You'd have to go to the game.
That's how I prefer it, actually.
And then after the game, if you were asked or you wanted to express yourself on how you felt, if they played well or poorly, if you wanted to criticize or praise, you would not do that. You would what?
You just say it was a fun day. Let's cook up some more dogs and burgers.
Go home and watch reruns of Seinfeld.
Yeah, let's make some more steak tips.
Okay. So that's not that's not what I do, and I think most people do. Most people go to the game, get emotionally invested, and then after the game, express what they saw and how they feel. In that regard, it is okay to come out of that game and say Drake Maye sucked or Drake Maye looked good. It is okay to say Drake Maye, I think, is going to be the guy, or I don't think he's going to be the guy. That is what I think most people do. Now, if you don't like the opinion, if you don't agree with the opinion, then you come out and say, well, it's too early for you to be saying that. Well, it's not for you too early to be saying the other thing. God, I'm talking to children.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, it's basically... I'm just nodding.
Okay. They're still prattling on there with the Celtics, by the way. Anything being said over there, Jimmy?
I doubt it.
I'm waiting for a question about play style.
I just said off the air to Jimmy, if anyone asks them about have you talked as an organization about how you're going to play, I would like to hear that question and answer. I can't tell you how. I feel like ignoring the Celtics because I find the Celtics and the Celtics conversation no fun. What was the story last year? How they played.
Correct.
They were a championship favorite who played themselves out of the playoffs by their play style. And I get the sense no one wants to talk about that. Go ahead.
Why is Rick Grouse back there?
Because they're pretending he's still got a say in this thing.
Like, am I wrong to ask that question? Are these shenanigans still going on?
Oh, yeah, and they will.
What is he doing there?
I guess we'll have to pretend he still has a say.
Yeah, he's like the Jordan's furniture guy. I mean, he doesn't really own it. He's just there to be like the front face of the thing.
Good point.
Elliot?
Yeah.
Good point.
Wick did say that he found out 18 months ago that the family had voted to sell the team. So that would have been before the playoffs that he knew that the team was being sold.
So didn't we hear that, Mazz? One time, you and me on the golf course?
Did we?
That, yes, we heard this. That they
So you remember
Where was this
crap?
that day?
They actually knew. We decided just to keep it on the golf course to protect the people that we know and talk to. That they had known for over a year, and they just kept it quiet because it was the year they were going for the championship, and they didn't want it to distract the championship. You remember hearing that?
No, I don't.
Well, what can I tell you?
Tell me again.
Okay, well, I just told you.
So I'm sorry.
I just told you and everybody else.
The fact that Wick is there to me is like, haven't we moved past that?
Nope.
Oh, no.
We're going to have to sit here and pretend that he still has a say.
Oh, my God.
We all are.
Yuck.
It's the whole thing. Like, nonsense.
Ugh.
Poppycock. Anyone going to ask about how they're going to play this year?
Who else is there? Is Bird there, too?
Are they just going to keep launching threes? Are you going to try and set another record for 3-point attempts?
Good question.
Shoot more threes than twos?
I'm sure someone will ask that.
Also, Maz, good news. Wick is looking for a third and a fourth ring, too.
No one's going to ask that. Because no one, it's just a different deal with the Celtics, and I am so turned off by the whole thing. I can't tell you. I feel like ignoring them all year.
I didn't notice that.
If we just can't talk about them like we would another team, like adults, and do the same thing with them we do with other teams, and what's the point?
Can't do it.
Let the kids at the kids' table do it with their Dino Nuggies, and we'll talk about the big boy
You
sports.
get me mad enough, I'll tell Celtics fans they suck, too.
So we're a football and a baseball show until, what, the Super Bowl or Tatum comes back?
Forever. Like, I don't know. We can't talk about... you just can't discuss the Celtics like you do other teams. And fans don't want to hear it.
No, they will not tolerate it.
So let's talk about the Red Sox coming up here. Murray's 90-second update. No commercials. We're right back.
From the Telfair Tire Studio.
Eric Crochet was absolutely fantastic. 8 scoreless. You take the series, and now you go for that sweep here tomorrow with Brian Bay.
Which is it ever?
Got thrown out. If you couldn't piece that together, the game ended on a line drive to right field in which he got thrown out at first base.
Yep, a line drive single. Abreu picked it up and threw him out at first base.
It doesn't count as a single, does it?
No, it's an out.
Yeah, no, it's a put out. Yeah.
9-3 put out.
Yeah.
Nah, your typical 9-3 grounder.
He's like a human fire hydrant, that guy.
Dude, like there's like
He does like the old the early 1900s baseball run.
no, but there's like rock bottom moments.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
You know, you see a picture of yourself and you're heavy or you whatever. Wake up one morning, it's like, okay.
Epiphany.
Getting thrown out at first on a ball to right field
In the big leagues.
in the big leagues should be that moment where you check yourself and
Yes,
say it's time
Engelbert.
to push away from the table and start doing some running. Like that's a check yourself kind of moment.
The only thing he was missing was a mustard stain on his uniform. Freaking Engelbert rolling down the first baseline while Abreu throws him out.
That happens in men's softball from time to time.
Oh,
You
my
can't
gosh.
in the big leagues.
Embarrassing.
Oh my goodness.
As embarrassing as it gets. The only way it would be worse is if the hit was to left field. That's it. That's about as bad as it gets.
I mean, wow. Anyway, thoughts on the Red Sox at this hour, Mazz?
So last night was the kind of win that you don't see very often with the Red Sox anymore, which is score early, pitcher shuts down the opposition. You're pretty much on cruise control the whole way through. There was very little stress in that game. And look, they have hit a little bit more the last couple of nights. So, they're really going back to the last series. So it feels like they're straightening out a little bit. I think that's the good sign. Now it's finish the job. You got one more game to go, and they could clinch by the time they take the field tonight. If Houston loses this afternoon, it's over. And so good for them for taking the first two. Take all the drama out of it and get your team ready for the playoffs.
Here's what people should feel the best about watching them the last couple of nights. If you don't suck, like Mazz said yesterday, if you compare them to the team that they're playing, that they went into this place, and that the Blue Jays have your best record in the American League, they look so loose compared to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are tight. You want to be hot and loose at the right time of year if you're going to get into the playoffs, which it feels like they're going to now. That's a good sign. And Crochet was the balls last night.
Yeah, a little bit of the underdog thing working for him probably. What do we have to lose?
Yeah, and look, there are ramifications, too, for this, and I don't know how people feel about it.
Do you want Toronto or New York in the wild card round?
So I think I want New York. I still don't like the idea of playing up in Toronto in the playoffs.
Why?
They haven't done well against them this year, and I know the Blue Jays are a mess right now, but that can all change when the playoffs start. And Toronto does have a couple of good pitchers. I like Barrios. I know he has not pitched well, and they had him in the bullpen last night. So clearly they're down on Barrios, but I feel like he's pretty good. Gossman gives them fits. So I will take the Yankees' stupidity over the Blue Jays at the moment. But, if there's no Bichette and the Blue Jays pitching is like it is right now, they can beat either one of them. And this, again, was the whole point. Just get in and see what happens. You don't know. There isn't a dominant team in the league with the possible exception of Seattle. Okay, let's see what happens with Seattle down the road. But everyone else, the Red Sox are right there with them. All those teams are on the same level. So at the end of the day, you're asking me Yankees or Blue Jays. I don't know that there's really that much difference. The Yankees might be a tougher opponent right now, but they're playing garbage competition, so it's hard to gauge.
Yeah, but there's some wind in their sails. Again, this tightness thing you're seeing with Toronto these last couple of nights, here they are blowing the division. If you get them, you have their head spinning right now. So I think they're full of doubt. I would take Toronto.
How about Garrett Crochet with 100 pitches last night? I don't think it's a big deal, but I brought this up. Like, how many times have I seen them take this guy out? 6th inning, 7th inning, 85 pitch. Just so closely monitoring the guy. Now the game's over. The playoffs are here, and they let him go 100 pitches? I was just sort of surprised by that.
They needed the game.
Okay, they were up 7-0. When he came out for the 8th inning, they were up 7-0, I believe.
Right. I think they let him go that far because there wasn't any stress. It was an easy 8 innings. I mean, it was easy. Usually you don't get to you get to 100 in the 6th or 7th. And he didn't, he had a really low pitch count. He had a lot of easy innings. And they factor that in, too. And I'm not even talking about the ups and downs. I'm just talking about how much did you have to
stress,
work.
yeah.
Right. How much did you have to work while you were on the mound? He didn't have to work much.
Well, either way, 5 days of rest. Game 1, Tuesday night in Toronto or New York.
I mean, suddenly it's...
Here we go.
Yeah. It's taken a little. Feels like it's taken a turn, right? And I think that this is what the American League is this year. You look at them on one day and you say they can't hit, they're screwed, they're not going to beat anybody. Then they play another team who's in it and looks like dog crap, and you say they can beat that team. And I think that's what the whole league is.
I think it's the whole league.
It is. The whole league is garbage.
It's not just the American League, it's baseball.
There's a lot of crap out there. Really. Again, the Mets, look at what the Mets are in. They're the second wild card right now, and they suck. Did you see some of their highlights from last night?
Yes.
Stink-o-rama.
How about Detroit?
Again, falling apart.
They're a disaster.
Completely crumbling. So the whole league is going to crap. All you got to do is play half decent and you can win.
All right, there's a little baseball thought for you. Mix it in with our Drake Maye conversation, whatever you want. Call us on whatever you want. We'll go right back to you after these words. Don't go anywhere right now. We're on. Oh, no, I guess we're back on the simulcast. Chisholm and the Celtics have finally stopped talking.